Hello, everybody. This is Frozen Fan 420 here. It's 4:12 p.m. on Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. I'm going to talk more about the Southern 500, which happened on Sunday. Every driver had a retro paint scheme. Well, not all of the drivers in the field, but a few of them. Greg Keselowski threw it back to the Xfinity Series when he first had Discount Tire as a sponsor. Austin Dillon threw back to Junior Johnson with his American ethanol car. Kevin Harvick threw back to the Busch car when it was the Busch Series, which is very interesting. Ryan Newman to his USAC days. Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Alex Bowman, they all threw back to Jimmy Johnson, who was celebrating his final season in NASCAR, as you may have guessed. And also, Jimmy Johnson had paint schemes to replicate Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt, who he's tied with for the most championships at 7. Kyle Busch threw back to Elliott Sadler's paint scheme when he had M&M's as a sponsor. Brennan Poole's throwback scheme was Ricky Rudd, Motorcraft team. The one for Clint Bowyer was number 14. It was Kyle Petty's peak antifreeze paint scheme as it looked in 1990. One for Ryan Blaney going back to Paul Menard. Matt DiBenedetto back to, I believe it's Marvin Pancher, Tiny Lund. Curtis Turner for Cole Custer. The other paint scheme, Joey Logano threw back to Bobby Allison's Miller American paint scheme from the mid to late 1980s, which is pretty neat. Eric Jones threw back to Tony Stewart. Denny Hamlin to Cale Yarborough, and of course Federal Express, which were both in the 1970s. And of course, Martin Truex Jr. back to his days in the Xfinity Series when he had Bass Pro Shops as a sponsor, which I thought was pretty fitting. Of course, Christopher Bell back to his Truck Series days. Dennis Suarez back when Eris was his sponsor. And a bunch of other great paint schemes. J.J. Ailey with Kenny Irwin Jr.'s Nerf paint scheme was among a few of them. Tyler Reddick throwing back to Jeff Burton's 1994 rookie season paint scheme. Very awesome, I must say. They all had very good paint schemes that night. And the biggest surprise of them all was Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. They were battling for the lead, and something happened between those two. I think they both made contact, and one of them got the famous Darlington Stripe. You don't know what that is? I'll tell you more. I'll tell you. It's when a race car gets up into the wall and gets a little scratch, and that's why they call it the Darlington Stripe. Of course, Kevin Harvick was pretty much non-existent throughout much of the race. He was just waiting, buying his time, just waiting for something to go wrong with either Chase Elliott or Martin Truex Jr. or both of them. And Kevin Harvick, boy, did he get lucky. He did it in the closing laps, and he ended up cruising to another victory in the Southern 500 for Stewart-Haas Racing and the number 4 Busch Beer team. The driver out of Bakersfield, California. So that was an action-packed race. You couldn't have asked for a better finish than that. And congratulations once again to Kevin Harvick, winning his 8th race of 2020. Not only that, but he's got a spot in the round of 12 in the NASCAR playoffs. So that's big, folks. That's really big. So the Southern 500 was one of the most exciting races of the season, and nobody would have wanted it any other way. And that'll do it. I'm Frozen Fan 421. Stay tuned, I'll have another video coming up, so don't go anywhere.